Want to run into an experience that will turn your eyes bloodshot, even when you narrate it to friends and family? We might scream, yell, also deny, but that scary screech that comes out from our throats makes it worth it. Secretly, we all enjoy getting little scared while exploring places. How many of us believe in ghosts? Do they actually exist? Can they be felt? Believers will reply in the affirmative and non-believers will perish the thought. In India, there are certain cities, coastlines, mountains and rivers that have been reported of unnatural tales. While we often forget the fairy tales but always remember the ghost stories, these horror places in India will test your courage with haunted activity. The Three Kings Church in Casualam village is the most haunted place in Goa. It is named after the three scholar kings who went to visit Lord Jesus at the time of his birth in Bethlehem. Also, there is a popular haunted story of Goa that talks of the three Portuguese kings who once ruled the land. Greedy for power, one of them poisoned and killed the other two. This made his subjects very angry, who turned against the king. Unhappy by his deeds, the king committed suicide by consuming poison. Many say that the bodies of the three kings are buried under the church and their spirits roam around the church and the village. There have been a number of claims about mysterious, paranormal experiences that visitors have had at the church. Late in the evenings, people who have walked around have claimed to have experienced a strong presence of sorts. The phantom presences have never harmed anyone, but many claim to have felt them. There are two stories of Bhangar Fort still surviving in the form of legends, which have tried to give a meaning to the eerie atmosphere which surrounds the haunted fort of Bhangar. Let's see more about the Bhangar Fort. The first legend claims that a king named Madhav Singh razed the Bhangar Fort after obtaining due permission from an ascetic named Balanath who lived there, having agreed to a condition which said that the shadow of the fort must never fall upon the home of the ascetic. But as fate would have it, one of the ambitious successors of Madhav Singh added to the fortifications vertically, thereby causing its ominous shadow to engulf the abode of the ascetic. Lo and behold, once it came to pass, the fort was doomed within no time. The alleged prophecy stood fulfilled, and the Bhangar Fort became haunted. A second legend behind the Bhangar Fort haunted, more popular than the first one, claims that Princess Ratnavati of Bhangar was responsible for the apocalyptic situation which befell the fort. A local black magician fell in love with her and once tried to bewitch a cosmetic she was supposed to use, to make her fall in love with him. The princess smelled suspicion and foiled the entire conspiracy of the black magician by pouring the bewitched cosmetic over a massive stone boulder, which then supposedly crushed the tantric to death. Before the magician breathed his last, he placed a curse upon the entire landscape that no soul would ever be able to live in peace there. The whole landscape around the Bhangar Fort has been haunted since. People claim to have heard Bhangar ghosts scream, voices of women crying, sounds of bangles in the room and eerie smells after the dusk, ghostly shadows, strange lights, and unusual sound of music and dance have been reported. The brave hearts who dared to stay back after dusk have failed to appear alive the next morning. No one lives in this village, and ruins of houses, temples, etc. still stand here, reminding people of one fateful night almost 200 years ago when all the villagers fled Kuldara. The story goes that this village was inhabited by the Paliwal Brahmins. The Diwan of Jaisalmer Salim Singh was known for his debauchery and one day declared that he wanted to marry the daughter of the village chief. He also told the villagers of Kuldara that if his wish was unfulfilled, he would levy heavy taxes on them. To prevent this, the villagers just fled one night, abandoning the village. No one really knows where they settled after this. However, before doing so, they cursed that no one will be able to live in Kuldara, ever. To this day, the village remains abandoned and no one really spends a night here. A team from Delhi's Paranormal Society once decided to find out if this place is indeed haunted and spent close to 12 hours in Kuldara at night. With their gadgets and equipment, they did spot unusual activity in the village. Many of them felt someone tapping their shoulder when there was no one around. Some spirits even revealed their names and they saw shadowy figures and movements.